Hi everyone. Okay, so in this video I am going to show you how I use a soda can to get a piece of aluminum. I'll just show you the aluminum here. It works out to be a pretty good sized piece of aluminum. I think it ends up being like 4 by 8 maybe. And I normally will take in, this hasn't been done yet, but I will normally take and put this in my trimmer. My Fiskars trimmer actually will cut, it'll cut it. And I just kind of like cut off whatever jagged edges there are, whatever. You do want to be careful if you try this technique because the aluminum can be very, very, very sharp. And if you're not careful, you can get some pretty jagged edges, which you'll probably see here in a minute. You also might want to wear goggles because, as you can see, the little pieces of aluminum can tend to fly off sometimes whenever you're cutting. So anyway, what I have here is basically just several layers of paper towel. You could also just use a regular you know, towel. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that because of the little shards of aluminum that you're going to get. I didn't want that in any of my towels, you know, whenever I go to take a shower and use that towel. So anyway, I just decided to go ahead and use some paper towels. I have like, I think I have five paper towels laying down here to catch any liquid that might be inside my cans still. I do wash the inside of the cans before I get started, and I also keep a piece of paper towel next to it. As you can see, this has some Coke on it from some of the cans that, or one of the cans that I forgot to wash before I started. But anyway, I usually just keep a piece of paper towel next to me so that I can wipe off the inside of the can whenever I'm ready to open it up. So anyway, what you'll need is, like I said, the paper towels, a paper towel if you know, if your cans are not dry on the inside. You'll obviously need your can. You need a serrated knife, and this is just a kitchen knife that I'm using. And then a pair of scissors. I like to use the long scissors, and these are just like some El Cheapo scissors that I got from Walmart in the sewing section. I keep these scissors on hand for things that, you know, projects that I do that I don't really necessarily want to use my good scissors on. So anyway, that's what you need. So first of all, what I do is I like to save the tops of the cans, or the little pop tops, and hopefully this one will come off for me. So you just pop that off like that, set that aside, and these can be used for like little tag holders, or it can be used to attach a charm onto a mini album or whatever. I mean, it's just something kind of different to add. So first of all, what I do is I take it in one hand. I get a really good grip on it here, and then I take my knife and I very carefully cut a hole into one side. Then I turn it around and I do the same thing on the other side. Now, I do this now because if I wait until after I have cut the side, which you'll see in a little bit, you'll understand more in a little bit whenever you see the process. But I do this now on purpose. Let's just put it that way, because it's easier in the long run. Okay, so once I have those cut, then I take my scissors and I just cut. Sorry, my nose is itching. I just cut my can. And I just just kind of try as best that I can to cut along that little indentation or the little hump there at the top. I don't cut into this part because what I usually do with the aluminum that I get out of this is I run it through my Cuttlebug and I'll dry emboss it, and so because this is not flat, I don't really care to use it. So I just trash that, and then I go over to the other side and I find that hole that I cut earlier, and I try to make sure that I cut this as far over to this side as possible. And you want to get a nice long cut on that very first cut, because sometimes whenever if you don't cut this first, then you would just cut down the side of it, and then you have to kind of like, you know, get your scissors in to this little section, and you know, your scissors can kind of get wobbly there. You can not break your scissors, but you can ruin your scissors quickly by doing that. I know because I did it. So anyway, this is the technique that I've developed in regards to doing this. So I like to just take and I kind of stretch out the aluminum as I'm cutting on this portion, because it just kind of helps me to get a straighter cut. And the reason why I want a straighter cut is because jagged edges can cut you. This aluminum can be really, really sharp on the edges. So we have now opened up our can, and I'm just going to set that aside. And I also do keep this little bottom part for just various things. You can put buttons on the inside of it. You could alcohol ink it and put a scalloped circle on the inside of it and then put buttons on it. I mean, it's just different things you can do with stuff. So anyway, yeah, so this is my little stack. Well, I actually have more. So what I do then is I have this jar. Do it horizontal here. I have this jar that I painted a long time ago, and I just keep them inside of there. And as you can see, I just take my little stack of these and I put them in the center, and then I take, these are a bunch of ones that I just did. I've been keeping these for like a month and a half. So that's why I have so many cans. So I just got around to today finally being able to do this. So I just scrunch them up and kind of like wrap them up into the circle form, and then I put them inside there. And then that way I have a little place to store them, and I can just grab them whenever I want to use one. And then here's my little pop tops, some of them. I'll go get one of the projects that I did with these so you can see them. These are a couple of things that I've done with the aluminum, and I basically just use alcohol inks on it. I think I did a video on this, but I don't know where it is. So with this one, I just embossed it with my Cuttlebug, and I don't know if I said this before, but I think the size that you get out of it is like 4 by 8. So I just cut them in half, and they end up being like 4 by 4, somewhere around in there. And you know, it's perfect size for an embellishment for a card or whatever. So with this one, I just did the damask, and I think on this one, I also did alcohol ink on the outer edges of it. You can't really tell that much. This one, I used the alcohol inks again. I used the copper alcohol ink, and I also used the pearl alcohol ink. And then on the edges, I don't remember what, I think it was slate. I did kind of like a inking the edges type thing, but it was with my alcohol ink applicator. This was with like a cranberry alcohol ink, I think it was, and then a purple. And then what I did was I took the blending solution and I just dropped a very, very tiny drop, and that's what made these little sections, or these little areas. And then on this one, I used StazOn ink with this one. So anyway, and as you can see, there's the back of it. So anyway, I'm about to run out of time, so I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that it helps you embellish your projects even more. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.